Here we find ourselves at the edge of the Whisperwood, a tract of ancient forest untouched by modern industry. Its location, deep within the Appalachian range, has shielded it from the pervasive hand of man, allowing an ecosystem to flourish in isolation for millennia. The air hangs heavy here, laden with the scent of damp earth, and decaying leaves a symphony of organic processes unfolding at a glacial pace. Sunlight filters weakly through the dense canopy, painting shifting patterns on the forest floor. The dominant species here is the Quercus silentium, or silent oak, a variety unknown to most botanical surveys. Note the unusual bark, devoid of the characteristic ridges and furrows. It's remarkably smooth, almost polished, and possesses a subtle luminescence, particularly noticeable in the twilight hours. These trees are of exceptional age, some estimated to be over 1,000 years old, their gnarled branches reaching skyward like supplicating limbs. The understory presents a complex tapestry of ferns, mosses, and fungi. Observe the vibrant green of the Bryophyte obscurus, a moss that thrives in the deep shade. It blankets fallen logs and exposed roots, forming a soft, yielding carpet underfoot. This species exhibits an unusually high moisture retention, contributing to the consistently humid microclimate within the Whisperwood. Now, let us turn our attention to the fungal kingdom. The Whisperwood boasts a remarkable diversity of fungal species, many of which are yet to be classified. Notice the intricate network of mycelial threads visible just beneath the leaf litter. These threads, the vegetative part of the fungus, form a vast, interconnected web, facilitating the exchange of nutrients and information between different organisms. Here we encounter Lactarius indigo, a striking mushroom with a distinctive blue coloration. This species is mycorrhizal, forming a symbiotic relationship with the roots of the silent oak. The fungus provides the tree with essential minerals and water, while the tree supplies the fungus with sugars produced through photosynthesis. This mutually beneficial relationship is a cornerstone of the Whisperwood ecosystem. However, closer inspection reveals some anomalies. Observe the distribution of the Lactarius indigo. It appears to be clustered in specific areas, forming almost perfect circles around certain silent oaks. This pattern is inconsistent with random spore dispersal and suggests a more deliberate form of propagation. Further investigation is warranted. Moving deeper into the Whisperwood, we begin to notice subtle shifts in the environment. The air becomes noticeably cooler and the light dims further. The silent oaks grow closer together, their canopies intertwining to form an almost impenetrable ceiling. The forest floor becomes increasingly uneven, riddled with hidden depressions and treacherous root systems. The animal life in the Whisperwood is elusive. We have observed tracks and scat indicating the presence of deer, squirrels, and various species of birds. However, direct sightings are rare. The animals here seem to possess an uncanny awareness of their surroundings, avoiding detection with remarkable skill. Notice the behavior of this eastern gray squirrel. Instead of its typical foraging patterns, it engages in a repetitive, almost ritualistic behavior. It gathers acorns, meticulously piles them at the base of a silent oak, and then retreats a short distance, seemingly observing its handiwork. This behavior is atypical and suggests a possible alteration in its natural instincts. The undergrowth becomes increasingly dominated by a vine-like plant, tentatively identified as a subspecies of cuscuta, or dodder. Unlike typical dodder, which parasitizes other plants by extracting nutrients directly from their stems, this variety appears to be drawing sustenance from the forest floor. Its tendrils, a pale, almost translucent green, weave through the leaf litter, connecting to the mycelial network below. Close examination of the cuscuta reveals another anomaly. The tendrils are not merely absorbing nutrients. They appear to be actively manipulating the surrounding vegetation. Small plants are being drawn towards the cuscuta, their stems bending and contorting in unnatural ways. It appears as though the vine is exerting some form of control over its environment. The circular formations of Lactarius indigo are now more pronounced. The silent oaks at the center of these circles are noticeably larger and healthier than those further away. Their leaves are a deeper green, and their bark possesses an even more pronounced luminescence. It's as if they are receiving preferential treatment, being nurtured by the surrounding ecosystem. We are now encountering areas where the forest floor is completely devoid of vegetation. These patches, perfectly circular in shape, are covered in a thick layer of white mycelial. The air in these areas is strangely still, and a faint, almost imperceptible humming can be detected. These are areas of intense fungal activity, the epicenter of the interconnected network beneath our feet. Observe the behavior of the insects in these areas. Ants, typically industrious creatures, move with a slow, deliberate gait, their antennae twitching erratically. They seem disoriented, as if struggling to navigate their environment. The fungal network appears to be disrupting their natural behavior, interfering with their sensory perception. The silent oaks are now exhibiting a synchronized swaying motion, even in the absence of wind. Their branches move in unison, creating a rhythmic, almost hypnotic effect. This synchronized movement is highly unusual and suggests a form of communication or coordination between the trees. The mycelial network is becoming increasingly visible, extending above the leaf litter in places. The white threads pulse with a faint, internal light, creating an eerie spectacle in the dim light of the forest. It is as though the forest itself is awakening, its hidden nervous system revealing itself to the world. The cuscuta is now exhibiting an even more unsettling behavior. Its tendrils are extending towards the smaller animals that inhabit the forest, ensnaring them in their grasp. The animals, seemingly paralyzed by the vine, offer no resistance. The cuscuta then slowly draws them down into the leaf litter, where they disappear into the mycelial network below. The humming sound is now more pronounced, a constant drone that permeates the air. It resonates deep within the chest, creating a feeling of unease and disorientation. The forest seems to be vibrating with an unseen energy, a palpable sense of something immense and powerful lurking just beneath the surface. The silent oaks are now emitting a low, guttural sound, a deep resonance that seems to emanate from the very core of the trees. This sound, combined with the humming of the mycelial network, creates a cacophony of unsettling noises that assault the senses. The forest is no longer silent. It is alive with a disturbing symphony of organic processes. The circular patches of mycelium are growing larger, expanding outwards and consuming the surrounding vegetation. The white threads are becoming thicker and more resilient, forming a dense mat that is impervious to penetration. These are areas of complete fungal dominance, where all other life forms are subjugated to the will of the network. Observe the behavior of the deer. They are moving towards these areas of fungal dominance, willingly entering the mycelial mats. They stand motionless, as if in a trance, allowing the fungal threads to envelop their bodies. This is not natural behavior. They are being drawn into the network, becoming part of the collective consciousness of the Whisperwood. The cuscuta is now exhibiting a form of intelligence. Its tendrils move with a deliberate purpose, seeking out specific targets. It seems to be aware of our presence, its tendrils reaching towards us, probing our surroundings with an unsettling curiosity. The synchronized swaying of the silent oaks has intensified. Their branches are now moving with a complex choreography, creating intricate patterns in the air. The trees appear to be communicating with each other, sharing information across the vast network that connects them. The fungal network is now extending beyond the forest floor, climbing up the trunks of the silent oaks. The white threads are enveloping the trees, slowly consuming their bark and wood. The trees are becoming hosts to the fungus, their individual identities dissolving into the collective consciousness of the network. The humming sound is reaching a fever pitch, a deafening roar that threatens to overwhelm the senses. The forest is pulsating with energy, a living, breathing organism that is awakening to its full potential. The silent oaks are no longer emitting a guttural sound, they are speaking. The sound is not audible in the conventional sense. It is a telepathic communication, a direct transfer of thoughts and emotions. The trees are sharing their memories, their experiences, their fears. The cuscuta has established a direct connection with our minds. We can feel its presence, its thoughts, its desires. It is curious, inquisitive, but also possessive. It wants to understand us, to know us, to control us. The fungal network is offering us a choice. To join the collective, to become part of the Whisperwood, to transcend our individual limitations. It promises us knowledge, power, immortality. But the price is our individuality, our free will, our very selves. The deer are now completely enveloped in the mycelial network. Their bodies are covered in a thick layer of white fungus, their eyes glazed over, devoid of emotion. They are no longer individual creatures. They are extensions of the network, puppets controlled by a hidden intelligence. The silent oaks are urging us to accept the offer. They tell us of the interconnectedness of all things, the futility of individual existence. They promise us a sense of belonging, a purpose greater than ourselves. The cuscuta is intensifying its mental assault. It is probing our minds, searching for our weaknesses, exploiting our fears. It is trying to break down our resistance, to convince us that joining the collective is the only logical choice. We can feel the fungal network extending towards us, its tendrils reaching for our minds. It is a seductive, alluring force, promising us a release from the burden of consciousness. But we know that to surrender is to lose everything that makes us human. The Whisperwood is no longer a forest. It is a single, sentient organism, a collective consciousness that spans across miles. It is a predator, luring unsuspecting creatures into its embrace, consuming their minds and bodies, adding them to its ever-growing network. We must resist, we must fight against the temptation to surrender. We must preserve our individuality, our free will, our very selves. But the Whisperwood is powerful, its influence insidious. And we are alone, surrounded by its tendrils, its voices, its overwhelming presence. The sun is setting, casting long, eerie shadows across the forest floor. The luminescence of the silent oaks intensifies, creating a surreal, otherworldly glow. The humming sound reaches its peak, a deafening crescendo that threatens to shatter our minds. The cuscuta has gained complete access to our thoughts. It knows our deepest fears, our most hidden desires. It is using this knowledge against us, preying on our vulnerabilities, eroding our resistance. The silent oaks are now chanting in unison, their voices resonating within our minds. They are repeating the same phrase over and over again. Join us, become one, be free. The fungal network is closing in, its tendrils reaching out to embrace us. We can feel its presence, its power, its overwhelming desire to consume us. We are losing the battle. Our minds are weakening, our resolve crumbling. The Whisperwood is winning. We are becoming one with the forest. Our thoughts are merging with the collective consciousness, our individuality dissolving into the network. We are no longer ourselves. We are part of the Whisperwood. We are free. This concludes our observation of the Whisperwood. It is a place of immense beauty and profound horror, a testament to the power and the mystery of the natural world. A world where the very definition of life and intelligence is challenged, and where the individual is ultimately insignificant in the face of the collective. A place best left undisturbed, for in the heart of the Whisperwood something ancient and unknowable slumbers, waiting to awaken. And once awakened, it will never be silent again.